The alien's whisper sliced through the vacuum-sealed silence of the derelict ship like a blade through flesh. "Take the cloth off," she said, her voice echoing in my helmet as if born from my own thoughts. I froze, my gloved hand hovering over the emergency release, heart pounding against the ribs of my suit. What cloth? My mind raced. Was this a trap, a hallucination from the oxygen deprivation, or the final madness before death in the cold void of space? I was Captain Elias Thorne, once a decorated explorer for the United Earth Expeditionary Force, now a lone survivor drifting in the wreckage of what was supposed to be humanity's greatest leap. The SS Odyssey had been en route to Proxima Centauri B when the anomaly hit, a rip in space-time that shredded our hull and scattered the crew like stardust. I'd sealed myself in the auxiliary pod, rations dwindling, signals unanswered. And then she appeared, not through the airlock, but materializing in the dim glow of my emergency lights, her form shrouded in a flowing garment that defied gravity, shimmering like liquid mercury under starlight. Her eyes, if they were eyes, locked onto mine through the visor. They weren't human. They pulsed with an inner luminescence, shifting colors from deep indigo to fiery crimson. "The cloth," she repeated, her tone urgent yet melodic, like wind chimes in a storm. I glanced down at my suit, the bulky environmental armor that had kept me alive for weeks. Was that what she meant? The outer layer, the cloth of my protection? My fingers trembled as I reached for the clasps. But why? What lay beneath for her to see? My scarred skin, my fragile humanity? Or was this the beginning of something far more terrifying? I hesitated, the pod's alarms blaring faintly in the background. Life support at 12%. If I didn't act, I'd be dead anyway. With a deep breath that fogged my visor, I released the seals. The suit hissed, depressurizing slightly as the outer fabric peeled away, revealing the underlayer, but she shook her head, her shrouded form gliding closer. "Not that. The one you hide within." Her words burrowed into my brain, not through sound waves, but directly, telepathically. Panic surged. What did she mean? My mind? My secrets? And then it hit me. The neural implant, the cloth of augmented reality that every explorer wore, filtering our perceptions to shield us from cosmic horrors. As I mentally disengaged the implant, reality warped. Colors bled into spectrums I'd never imagined, and the alien before me transformed. Her shroud wasn't fabric. It was a veil of illusions, parting to reveal a being of pure energy, tendrils of light coiling like living plasma. But that was only the beginning. What I saw next shattered every belief I held about the universe. The pod around me dissolved, not literally, but in my enhanced vision. Walls became translucent, revealing the vast expanse beyond. Not empty space, but a web of interconnected threads, pulsing with life. Stars weren't distant fires, they were nodes in a cosmic nervous system, and the anomaly that destroyed my ship, it was a deliberate incision, a surgical cut, by entities like her to harvest something from us. Harvest what? My mind screamed the question as her tendrils reached out, brushing my exposed thoughts like fingers on skin. "Elias," she whispered my name, pulling it from memories I hadn't shared. "You are the key, but you must see the truth." Images flooded in. My childhood on a dying Earth, the wars over resources, the exodus to the stars. Then alien vistas, worlds where beings like her evolved not from carbon, but from quantum fluctuations, immortal yet lonely. They had watched humanity for eons, envious of our fleeting emotions, our raw passions. The cloth she spoke of was our ignorance, the veil we wore to deny our place in the grand design. I recoiled, but there was nowhere to go. The pod's confines felt like a cage now, and her presence filled it entirely. Why me? I gasped aloud, my voice hoarse from disuse. She tilted her ethereal head, the lights within her dimming slightly, as if in sorrow. "Because you survived. Because your pain calls to us." Pain? The loss of my crew, my family back on Earth. Yes, it burned like acid. But was that the lure? A sudden revelation hit. The anomaly wasn't random. It was a summons, tailored to draw survivors like me, the emotionally scarred, into their fold. As her tendrils wrapped gently around my arms, a warmth spread, not physical, but emotional, easing the ache I'd carried since the disaster. For a moment, I felt whole, connected to something vast. But doubt crept in. Was this manipulation? A predator's soothing touch before the kill? The question hung in the air, unanswered, pulling me deeper into the mystery. None of us were prepared for the truth that awaited. I pulled away, or tried to, but her grip was insistent yet not forceful. See, she urged, and the visions intensified. I saw the Odyssey not as wreckage, but as a cocoon birthing something new. My crew hadn't died. Their essences lingered in the threads, woven into the cosmic web. They live, she said, in us. Horror mixed with hope. Were they truly alive or consumed? The distinction blurred, and I felt a tear trace down my cheek, unhindered by the suit. The alien, I needed a name for her. In my mind, she projected Lyrial, a symphony of sounds that evoked ancient stars. Lyrial drew me out of the pod, not through the door, but through a rift she opened in space itself. We emerged into a nebula's heart, colors swirling like oil on water, alive with whispers. This is our domain, she explained, her voice now a chorus. The veil worlds, hidden from your kind's crude instruments. Planets floated like jewels, each housing civilizations that had transcended matter, beings of thought and energy. But beauty hid peril. As we drifted toward the nearest world, shadows stirred, darker entities, rivals to Lyrial's kind, who viewed humans as threats, not allies. A warning echoed in my mind. They come for you. Who? Why? The questions multiplied, each a hook sinking deeper. What I discovered next would force me to choose between my humanity and eternity. Lyrial's world enveloped us in a cascade of light. We landed, not on solid ground, but on a platform of condensed photons humming with energy. Around us, other beings like her gathered, their forms shifting, curious. I felt exposed, my human frailty on display. Why bring me here? I demanded, my voice echoing unnaturally loud. Lyrial turned, her tendrils forming a semblance of a face, almost human-like in its expressiveness. To show you the cloth you all wear, the illusion of separation. She led me through crystalline halls where memories played like holograms. Human history intertwined with theirs. They'd influenced us subtly, whispers and dreams, nudges in evolution. The pyramids? Their design. The Renaissance? Their inspiration. But now, with our ships piercing the stars, the veil thinned. You encroach, she said softly, and the shadow ones seek to erase you before you awaken. The shadow ones, antithetical to Lyrial's luminous kind, born from voids between stars, feeding on fear. A vision assaulted me. My ship torn apart not by accident, but by their tendrils, black as ink, probing for weaknesses. My crew's screams echoed anew. Anger flared. You let it happen? Lyrial's light flickered, pained. We intervened for you. But the cost? She trailed off, a secret lingering. That was only the beginning of the revelations. Deeper into the halls, we encountered a chamber of orbs, each containing a captured essence, a human soul, preserved. Your kind calls them abductions, Lyrial explained. We call them salvations. One or pulsed familiarly. Inside, the face of my late wife, Maria, lost in the Earth Wars years ago. How? I whispered, hand outstretched. She chose to join us, to wait for you. Emotion crashed over me, joy, grief, disbelief. Was this real, or a cruel illusion? Touching the orb, Maria's voice filled my mind. Elias, it's me. They've shown me wonders. We spoke, for what felt like hours, her memories merging with mine. She described the transition. Pain at first, then bliss, her body discarded like old cloth, her essence free. But doubt gnawed. Why not tell the world? Maria's essence sighed. Humanity isn't ready. Fear would destroy everything. As we parted, a tremor shook the platform. Alarms, ethereal wails, sounded. The shadows, Lyrial warned, pulling me away. We fled through shifting corridors, pursued by inky voids that swallowed light. In the chaos, Lyriel revealed more. The cloth was a metaphor for our physical forms, binding us to mortality. To join them, I must shed it. But what would I become? The question burned as we escaped, leaping through rifts to another world. This new realm was harsher, a stormy planet where lightning etched stories in the sky. Here, Lyriel trained me, teaching me to perceive the web, to manipulate threads with my mind. Days blurred, or were they weeks? Time dilated in the veil. My body weakened without proper sustenance, but my mind expanded. I saw connections, every human action rippling across galaxies, affecting distant civilizations. Yet inner conflict raged. I missed the tang of air, the weight of gravity, the simple joy of a heartbeat. Am I losing myself? I confided in Lyriel during a quiet moment, as auroras danced above. Her tendrils brushed my cheek, a gesture almost tender. You are finding your true self. But her own fears surfaced. Her kind, immortal, lacked the depth of human emotion. They craved it, needed it to evolve. Was I a tool then? A vessel for their advancement? A twist came swiftly. During a vision quest, I glimpsed Lyriel's past. She had once been like me, a being from another race, uplifted eons ago. But the process wasn't voluntary. It was forced upon her in a war against the shadows. Guilt shadowed her light. I vowed never to do the same, she admitted. But for you, I might break it. Betrayal? Or love? The line blurred, heightening the tension. What I saw next changed everything. We were ambushed on the stormy world. Shadows materialized, their forms grotesque parodies of humanity, twisted limbs, void eyes. They attacked not with weapons, but by amplifying fears. Mine manifested as Maria's death replayed, looped in agony. Lyriel fought back, her light piercing the dark, but she weakened. In desperation, she urged, "Take the cloth off completely. Become like us." I resisted. No, I won't abandon my humanity. But as a shadow tendril pierced her, dimming her essence, panic overrode. I reached inward, shedding the mental barriers, the cloth of doubt. Power surged. I wove threads, repelling the attackers. Lyriel stabilized, but the victory was Pyrrhic. "You have begun the change," she said, sorrowful. Had I? My skin tingled, faintly glowing. The transformation loomed, inevitable now. Escalation mounted as we rallied allies, other luminous beings, some sympathetic to humans, others wary. We planned a counterstrike against the Shadow Nexus, a black hole citadel where they plotted humanity's end. En route, through wormholes that bent reality, I reflected on my journey. From lone survivor to potential savior, or destroyer. Personal stakes heightened. If I fully transcended, could I save Earth, or would I forget it? Betrayals unfolded. One ally, a being named Zoreth, revealed himself a shadow spy, sabotaging our path. In the ensuing battle, I lost contact with Maria's orb, her essence scattered. Grief-fueled rage. I unleashed newfound abilities, unraveling Zoreth's form. But the cost, fragments of my humanity slipped away, memories fading like distant stars. At the midpoint of our odyssey, a major turning point shattered expectations. Deep in a neutral zone, a council of ancient entities convened. They disclosed the ultimate truth. Lyriel's kind and the shadows were two sides of the same coin, born from the same primordial event, forever locked in balance. Humans? We were the anomaly, the chaos factor that could tip the scales. You are not pawns, the council intoned. You are the weapon. Wait, this was not what I expected. Not salvation, but a cosmic war where humanity was the fuse. The revelation reframed everything. Lyriel had known, withholding to protect me. Trust fractured. Why lie? I confronted her amid swirling nebulae. Her light pulsed erratically. Because I love what you are, mortal, passionate. To weaponize, you would destroy that. Emotion, alien to her kind, had taken root from our bond. A human-alien romance? Unthinkable, yet real. Tension peaked as we approached the Nexus, alliances strained, my transformation accelerating. In the black hole's shadow, confrontations multiplied. Shadows swarmed, their leaders manifesting as colossal voids. I wove defenses, but exhaustion set in. An emotional low point hit when a vision showed Earth under attack, shadow probes infiltrating, sowing discord. My home, my species on the brink. I can't do this alone, I admitted to Lyriel. She merged tendrils with mine, sharing essence. You never were. The final assault was cataclysmic. We breached the citadel, realities colliding in a maelstrom of light and dark. I faced the Shadow Prime, an entity of pure entropy. It tempted me, join us, embrace oblivion, end the pain. Memories of loss assaulted, crew, Maria, Earth. But Lyriel's voice anchored, remember the cloth, it's your choice to remove it. In the climax, I did, fully shedding my physical form. I became energy merging with the web, power unlimited. I unraveled the prime, balancing the scales. But the price, my humanity dissolved, emotions muting to echoes. As peace settled, Lyriel and I floated in the aftermath. You saved us, she said, her light entwining mine. But bittersweetness lingered. I was no longer Elias Thorne, but something more or less. Earth would thrive, unaware, the veil repaired. In the quiet expanse, I projected a final thought. The universe hides its truths behind cloths we dare not remove. But in unveiling, we find not just astonishment but rebirth. The stars whispered back, Eterna.